Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. I wasn't planning on going live today, but I decided to go live anyways, just an hour early, because in an hour I'll be leaving. So, it's fair day with my dad and my cousin. So anyways, I'm just going to get rolling. First things, happy Aloha Oracle Friday, or happy Aloha Friday. This is the day I normally do oracles, but it started off as a fun thing, but there's a few guidelines that I do have, and they're not for my benefit, they're for yours. Number one, don't worry about where the message is coming from, okay? I only work from a good place. So I know we're always taught that, oh my God, these things are bad, but if you're here, there's a reason. You know, your people or your source may be trying to get a message to you. I can't guarantee that, but anything is possible. So just keep an open mind and don't worry where the message is coming from. Number two, please, please, please do not try to make the card fit you. If it does not resonate, it is probably not meant for you, no matter how bad you want that card. However, if you're not sure if it resonates with you or not, it's very, very possible that it could be something that will make sense later. Okay, and number three, one of the ways I work is that I will see the card and then I'll give you what I'm getting when I'm tapped in, but I will also give you what the book says, because somebody took the time to do the book, so I want to give them the time, you know, and show what they did. And a lot of times it's funny because I don't memorize these things, so sometimes I get excited because there are going to be times when I'm almost right along with the book. So anyways, let's just get going. Those are the three main guidelines. And one of the reasons I came up with number two is don't make it fit, is it can cause you to overthink, worry, and try to make things happen. The more we go with the flow, the more things tend to work out for us. So whether it's the way we want it to or the way it's meant to. So sometimes we just have to understand that and go with the flow. The more you try to force something, oops, there's one. The more you try to force something, the more it will probably not happen, because you're putting up barriers, you're putting up blocks. So, all right, let's just get rolling. Card number one, it's up to you. It is up to you. I always start with the, where is it? Angel Answers deck. Just like Monday through Thursday, I will do a guidance deck, or on Wednesday we do the self-care deck. But I always start with the Angel Answers because it's something quick before we get into the other decks. And I have the Enchanted Unicorn, the Magical Messages of the Fairies, and this one, my favorite, which is the New Orleans Oracle. But it's up to you. If there is something that you are trying to accomplish and you're just sitting there waiting for it to happen, you have to still make strides towards it. Whether you've done everything and you put everything out there, you still have to believe and have faith and have trust. We got this card last week, and the interesting thing about this card is that I think a lot of people forget that. We think about the normal things, the more normal channels that we have to go through, but we forget to believe. We forget to trust. We forget to have faith that things can work out and will work out for in the best and divine way. So again, if you're trying to put something out there, whether it's a prayer, an intention, or a manifestation, you've got to give your spirit guides or your source wiggle room. If you were trying to control it, like control it, you're putting up blocks and you're putting up barriers, and the only person you're hurting is yourself. So again, it's up to you. If you have to have faith, you have to have trust, and you have to believe. Okay, so it's up to you. Card number two, whatever you're waiting for is going to happen within the next few weeks. So don't it could be a lot of different things. Don't just zero in on one thing. If you have a lot of different things going on and you have a lot of stuff out there, it's very possible that this is going to happen within the next few weeks. But again, you have to have trust, you have to have faith, and you have to believe. All right. Number three, look for a sign. This is interesting. I was in a conference the other day that a friend had sent me on. It was on Zoom, or I don't know how they were doing it, but it was online. And they said if you're going to put out a prayer, put out an intention, or try to set a manifestation, give yourself signs to look for, to know that your source has heard you, whether it's God or another source. They said, give yourself a sign. And I did this. And it was the mourning dove, and which is like a beautiful dove. It's this really pretty brown color, but it's not mourning as in sunrise. It's mourning as in sorrow. But that's not necessarily what it only means. It can also mean peace, love, faith, and trust. And but I love numbers. I love numbers, and the numbers speak to me. And if you know what angel numbers are, then you'll understand that. And I chose 333 or 444, which is a prime angel number. But sure enough, that day I saw both, and I saw a mourning dove. And I saw a mourning dove in the most, I didn't even see it at home where I normally saw it. I went to the ATM at the bank, and there was one just hopping right past me as I was walking away. So look for signs, okay? Even if you don't pick a sign, if you don't just say, okay, well, I want to see this to know that I'm being heard. Whatever resonates with you. If you see a hummingbird, if you see a butterfly, there's all different types of ways that you can get signs, okay? So just keep your eyes open and keep your mind open for that. Let's see, the next one. Meditation brings answers. That is so true. Meditation really does bring answers. And that's because a lot of the answers are actually already inside of us. A lot of these answers are within us. And, they're kind of coded in, or maybe when you're sleeping, if you set your prayers at night, God is saying, hey, blah, 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 here it is. I'm downloading this into you. But we get this chattery mind, right? I don't know if your mind is like mine. It has been said that a human being has about 60,000 thoughts a day. And, it seems like a lot until you start thinking about how much you're thinking, like thoughts on top of thoughts on top of thoughts. I swear to you, I used to have double that. My mind would not stop. I feel like it's quieted a bit. So maybe I'm like halfway between 60 and 120,000, like maybe at about 90,000. But whatever it is, when I'm mindful and I take the time to sit down. Good morning, Eileen. When I take the time to sit down and actually quiet my mind, I get answers. And they're not always going to be the answers we want, but you're always going to get the answer you need or are meant to get. So, again, meditation can bring answers. So, the next one. Okay, I'm trying to find one that resonates with me, guys. Remain positive. Remain positive. So this will be the last one of this deck, but remain positive. I really feel like these all go together. It's up to you to make things happen, right? And like I said, this one feels. I'm actually going to put this one aside because this one feels very, very personal to whoever sees this. It's like going to resonate with them and knock them out of their chair. Okay. And I don't mean literally, but figuratively. But, this one feels, so I'm going to pull one more card because this one feels like it's a little bit separate, like it's not part of the story. But, if you're waiting for something, it's going to start happening, or it's just going to happen within the next few weeks. So you have to be positive about that. Okay. Look for your signs. Don't forget to look for your signs. And like I said, a sign can be anything. It can be like I don't know, it could be a balloon floating through the sky. One time I was feeling so low and I thought, God, I feel, does anybody see me? Am I invisible? I was spiraling that day. And I was sitting outside, and then and I swear to you, this happened. Randomly, some balloon, a Mylar balloon, got away from somebody. And I just see this balloon floating through the sky that says, "You're number one." I mean, it was summertime, so it might have been like, it could have been sports, it could have been a graduation, maybe it's a birthday party, but whatever it was, I just see this balloon floating by and says, "You're number one." And I was like, okay, somebody does see me. but believe it or not, it helped. And it was just a random thing that happened. I felt bad for the person that lost a balloon because I'm sure those were not cheap, but but also meditation can bring answers, quiet the mind. Yes, I know everyone's all, I can't meditate, I fall asleep. Let me tell you, if I can learn how to meditate, you can learn how to meditate. Don't worry about clearing your mind out completely. Take it one step at a time. Meditation doesn't have to be 2 hours long. It doesn't have to be an hour long. It could be 5 minutes. It's just a moment of mindfulness to quiet your mind, to get back into your center, and to, really just kind of give your brain a second. And once you're able, to just kind of whoosh away, think about it like, right? You've seen the movies, right? With Moses parting the Red Sea. Just imagine, you're parting all of your thoughts. And if you look straight ahead, there's your answer. Okay, so, and remain positive, and communicate clearly. I think that is key. Okay. What you think is what happens. Your thoughts become reality. So if you are thinking negatively, you're going to keep cycling in that negative. If you were learning how to think positive, your brain is going to see that, and it might be a struggle to get from, being super negative to finding that positivity somewhere, but it will grow and your brain will start to help you, because you know what? You're going to want that aha feeling. You're going to want that, ooh, this is how I should feel kind of feeling. And so when you put the effort towards it, when you put the joy and the love and the faith and the trust and the believing behind it, you're going to receive. And like I said, you may not get exactly what you've asked for, but you're going to get what is meant to be with you. So again, give your higher power, give your source, give your spirit guides, give them wiggle room. This or something better. Okay, that's my favorite thing to add at the end of things. This or something better. It's like I'm going to mention this again because this seems to be one of the topics that keeps floating by this week, is the law of attraction. And the law of attraction doesn't necessarily mean just good things. Yeah, we've all heard of The Secret. We've all heard, some people think it's mumbo jumbo, but I will tell you this. I've made some weird shit happen. And just small things because it's like, really does this? There just a lot of different examples, but I think what we forget is that the law of attraction and the secret is teaching you how to be positive. It's trying to remind you that what you think is what you're going to get. If you've ever watched the movie, I've read the book, but I've never actually seen the movie. And I will tell you this, they're straight in your face. All right. If you're thinking positive, good things are probably going to happen for you. But if you're thinking negative, sorry, that's your fault. And it's not wrong, because you're putting out an energy, you're putting out a vibe. When you feel very passionate about something, it's, you can manifest it, whether it's good or bad, because, again, it's that frequency you're working on. So, whether you believe it or not, just try to watch your thoughts, try to stay in the positive. If you have a negative thought, just say, you know what, I do not wish to manifest that into reality, or I do not wish to manifest that into fruition. Just negate it really quick. Just say, or, if you think a bad thought, like, oh, I hope I don't get stuck in traffic today. No. I'm so happy and grateful that I have a good ride in. And even if you do get stuck in traffic, you have now put yourself in a mindset that says, I hope I have a good drive in. And, maybe your favorite songs will come on, or maybe you'll say, you know what, I think I'm going to listen to my special playlist today while you're going in. And you're not going to be worrying about all that negative stuff. Starting the day with a negative thought can just bring you through negativity all day. And think about that. How many times have you had a really bad morning and it just felt like it turned into a bad day? How many times have you had a really good morning and, no matter what you were faced with, good or bad, you managed, you made it through? Or maybe you woke up in a bad mood and thought, you know what, no, I want to be in a good mood today. And you totally switched everything around, maybe even halfway through, or vice versa. Those are the things that happen, and those are the things that we really, really have to watch out for. All right, so let's get to the unicorn deck. Oh no, you know what? I'm going to go with the fairy deck because I don't even think we got to that one last week. So I love this deck. It's just so pretty and colorful. This is what the front looks like a little, it reminds me of like a magic wand, right? Like something out of the Wizard of Oz. But, ooh, that was fast. Ta-da. All right, I got two. So the autumn card. Let's see. In the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. Now, that could mean a lot of different things. If you're waiting for something to happen, then it's very possible that in the fall, it's all going to come together. Or maybe you're going to realize in the fall that it's all come together, which isn't far off, right? I mean, it's almost July. I mean, fall is like, what, a couple months away? So if you're working on something now, keep going, okay? Remember this card right here. It's up to you. Keep looking for your signs. And again, communicate clearly. Oh, that's what I forgot. I'm so sorry. I do get sidetracked from time to time, and I don't usually do these early. I didn't even plan on going live today, but I just figured it'd be easier to download and upload because I'm going to be leaving for the Del Mar Fair soon. So, or the San Diego County Fair. I don't know what they call it down here anymore, but I'm here for my dad's Father's Day weekend. So, but yeah, in the fall season, everything is going to come together, but I feel like there's more to it than this, right? I mean, autumn feels very, very specific. You know, maybe this is the name of somebody and you're looking for a sign. This could be your sign about autumn. Or, you know, fall is also Halloween time. It's just, there's so many wonderful things. I mean, pumpkin spice lattes. Who doesn't love one of those? Well, actually, I know a lot of people that don't, but I do. So, and here's a side tip. You know, this is what I do, guys. I mean, my oracles are never, they're never just, oh, shall I read the card? If you ever get a pumpkin spice latte, instead of using almond milk or whatever kind of milk you use, try it with coconut milk. It's a game changer. It is a straight up game changer. And I know that sounds weird, but when I was in Colorado one September, I usually go every September for my aunt's birthday, but when I was in Colorado, they ran out of almond milk. I don't know how Starbucks in the mountains runs out of almond milk, but they did. And so she told me that she replaced it with coconut milk. And if I didn't like it, she would remake it with, you know, in a different way. She would try to find something that would suit me. But I was like, no. I said, it's fine. I'll just try it. And I said, no big deal. You know, it happens. And oh my God, it made the flavor pop. It made the flavor pop. I don't know how the coconut did that, but the coconut said, you know what, Shelly Marie, I am going to give your taste buds a party today. And it did. And I've never gone back. But whatever the case, autumn. All right. So fall. And let's see what the book has to say about that. The answer to your question will be fully reaped in the autumn. Just like a garden patch, you'll experience blessings along the way. Keep tending to your manifestation by maintaining positive thoughts, affirming, praying, and taking guided action. Those are all the angel answers cards, right? Look for signs, communicate clearly, remain positive. What was the very first one? It's up to you. So again, the fruit of this work will be ready as the leaves start to turn and the air starts to chill for the fall season. So additional meanings for this card: a return to school. So if you're waiting to get in somewhere, this could be a sign that you were going to get to go where you want to go. A project is nearing completion. Visit or move to a location where the leaves turn bright colors in the fall. Grow a vegetable or herb garden. Okay, I do not grow anything because I will kill it. But it's not intentional. It just not. I'm not a gardener. But oh gosh, yeah. You know what? That's the fun thing is it's not quite fall when I go to Colorado, but it is nice to see the leaves change. You know, here in California, we don't get a lot of that. So, oh, okay. You know what? This is interesting. I just found, so there's a note section, and I left myself a note. Trust your instincts when reading and listen to your heart to tell you the truth. So in that case, it was for me to trust that when I'm doing this, that I'm not just, winging it. I'm just actually trusting myself. But what I like is the rest of the message, and I think that goes for everybody and anybody that is learning how to read or to do these things. Trust your instincts and listen to your heart to tell you the truth. That happens with meditation too, guys. So the next card, perfect timing. Perfect timing. Kind of like that. It kind of goes with that within a few weeks, right? Within a few weeks. Perfect timing. This is the right time for you to move forward. If there is a project or something that you want to do, now is the time to move forward. And I kind of like the fact that these two cards came up together, because if you really stop and think about it, what you start now, it may start reaping its rewards in the fall. It may even happen faster. But I think the autumn card isn't just about watch how it all explodes in the fall. It could be look back and see how far you have just come. Look back and see all the benefits and the rewards that you are now reaping because you trusted, because you had faith, because you believed. Okay, so perfect timing. Timing is divine timing. It will happen when it's meant to. If you try to force it, again, you're going to put up obstacles, you're going to put up barriers, you're going to just basically shoot yourself in the foot. And you don't want to do that. Okay, I am the queen at that. I am trying to become not a participant in doing that anymore. I'm just trying to believe and have faith and know that everything is going to work out exactly as it's meant to. It may not work out in the way I want it to, but it will work out in the way that it is meant to. And when we accept that idea, when we accept that truth, things can come faster, because now you're not chokeholding it. You're not saying, well, I specifically asked for this. No, something similar, this or something better, right? This or something better. And better doesn't necessarily mean that what you were asking for wasn't good enough. Better means it's because it's meant for you. You know, it's meant to be in your life. It could also mean for people that don't trust manifesting or don't trust themselves or don't believe in it, or maybe you don't even think you're worthy. I will tell you right now, if you want your prayers, your manifestation, or your intentions to come true, you have got to believe that you are worthy. And let me tell you right now, you are. Oh, that's funny. I'm going to jump back for a second. I just saw Eileen's comment, always the Del Mar Fair. It is always the Del Mar Fair. I'm sorry. When I was growing up, it was the Del Mar Fair. And I kept calling it that yesterday. And my dad kept saying, well, they call it the San Diego County Fair now. I know. And it's so funny because they do the same thing in Orange County and they do the same thing in LA. And I always laugh too, because the LA County Fair is so on the edge of like LA County. I mean, seriously, it's like on the edge of LA County. For anybody that lives where I live, it's like right between like the LA County Fair and right between the Orange County Fair. So, so I'm not a big fair person because, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe I've just never given it a shot, a true and real shot as an adult. But I am looking forward to today. Got my umbrella so the sun and I don't have a fight. But yeah, I am looking forward to that. So again, I didn't understand why I sidetracked on that one, but now I do, because I don't know what it is, but I think I have a mild allergy to heat or the sun, because I do dehydrate quick, but even when I've noticed that I've stayed hydrated and stay hydrated, during the summer months, guys, or any time that it feels humid or whatever. But I noticed even when I stay hydrated, I still can possibly get a headache when I'm sitting in the sun. And so I think if I get overexposed to sunlight, just too much sun, I get sick. I mean, not like, it's just like a 10-minute flu or something. I get sick to my stomach because I get a really bad headache. It's like the sun is saying, you know what, I'm going to fry your brain up for lunch today. But I gratituded that today would be the perfect day. And I did this a couple days ago when I found out where we were going today. And normally I tend to forget one or two things when I come down here to visit my dad. But lo and behold, I remembered my umbrella. And I don't know if anybody saw the pictures from a couple weeks ago when Sibling and I went to the Strawberry Festival, but that umbrella. And I realized that, you know what, I don't have to hate the things I love. But when you gratitude, you're giving yourself that grace to come up with other ideas. And so instead of today of being afraid of the sun and worrying about everything, I have something to shelter me. And the nice thing is that the way it's built, it can actually clip onto my wrist and I can just walk around with, and hold stuff. I can hold water or whatever, It's a fascinating umbrella. It's one of those ones that are meant for the wind. So it actually opens up backwards. But yeah, so I know that's a sidetrack, but when you gratitude, you change your attitude. Baby sibling and I often talk about that. It's like sometimes we'll just remind each other, you need to gratitude your attitude. And not in a bad way, but sometimes when things feel like they're just pushing down on you, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm in a better mood. And keep saying it until you start to believe it, until you start to feel it. Okay? You have to feel it. You have to feel it to believe it. All right? That doesn't rhyme, but it works. So perfect timing. If you're wondering when your desire will be fulfilled or when it's the best moment to make a change, the answer is now. The universal energies have aligned perfectly and have opened a gateway for you to easily step through. This is one of those times in life when you're on a roll and everything you touch turns to gold. Ooh, I like that one, right? Take advantage of the divine timing and make your move. Any additional preparation at this point would be akin to procrastination. Take one step at a time and move forward today. Your positive thoughts and affirmations are working, so please keep them up. Don't stop, okay? Don't stop. Stop procrastinating and take action, okay? We procrastinate out of fear, all right? Well, for the most part, out of fear. A lot of times it's just like, I'll do it later. But when it comes to big things, and we keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow, we do that out of fear. We do that out of a place of not believing, not trusting that everything is going to be okay. So, I know I have a lot of bad habits, but I am a class A procrastinator, and I'm not sure why, but I am. So anyways, make a clear decision, trust your inner sense of timing about this project, keep the faith as your prayers are on the brink of being realized, and take advantage of your spare time and use it to achieve your goals. Do not give up on yourself. Do not. I forbid it. I forbid it. Do not give up on yourself. Keep manifesting. Even though it feels like it might be taking forever, it may not be taking forever at all. Remember, when you're asking for something, there's a difference between making a wish and manifesting something. Okay, a wish requires a genie. Do you have a genie? Do you have a genie just sitting in your bottle? And be careful, because not all of them are nice like the one in Aladdin. All right. I forgot I had my alarm on. That's the alarm that actually reminds me to do this at 8:30. But it's my mental health check-in alarm. And no, I'm not kidding. It's actually my mental health check-in alarm. I check in with myself every day. But manifestations are different from wishes. Okay? A wish is just something that you want, that you feel like you cannot have, and that you need a genie for, right? Think about going back to Aladdin. Think about Aladdin, right? All this time, he was making all these grand wishes to impress Princess Jasmine, when in the end, it was just him that she fell in love with. It was just him that she wanted. It was him in the marketplace that she kind of was like, ooh. But when he tried to be somebody else, when he tried to be this grand person, okay, you know what? Hold on one second, guys. My, every time the alarm does this weird thing, my mic does weird things. So, all right. Hear me better now. So, I don't know why it does that. It's so strange. But yeah, it cuts out a bit. So my apologies on that. However, hopefully you can still hear me. But, because I just unplugged it and replugged it. Oh, okay, good. She says better. But, I know it's probably not as good as it was before. I got to pay attention to these alarms. My mind goes everywhere. But think about it with like Aladdin, right? He found the genie in the bottle. Now I got that song in my head. He found the genie in the bottle and he made all these wishes. And then at the end, because he didn't know how to be himself, the promise he had made to use his last wish, he almost, he threw it away. And, he disappointed a lot of people. It all worked out in the end because it's Disney, right? It always works out in the end. But the point is that sometimes you just have to be yourself. You know, that's the difference between a wish and a manifestation. A manifestation is you knowing you're worth it. You knowing that you can obtain these things, whether it's that or something better or, you know, just something similar. When you're wishing, you're forgetting your worthiness. You know, you're putting wishes out there like, oh, okay, it would be great to have one of these. I wish I had one of those. Manifest it. Okay? Manifest it. I will give you a quick example before I move on to the unicorn deck. I have always wanted to drive an Audi. All right. Yes, an Audi. I just like, oh man, you know, that's a nice looking car. I wonder what it's like to drive one. And I remember it was one of the trips to Colorado that sibling and I were taking. And I thought, you know what? Let's go big or go home. You know, I'm going to rent a luxury car while we're there. And so I thought, this will be fun. This will be so cool. This will be great. But the thing was, is that I procrastinated. But this time it worked out for me. I ended up getting our car a week before we left. Not only did I get it at a lower price than the regular cars we normally get, but when I got to the rental car place, they're like, oh, okay, you have a luxury car. They're going to pull it around right now. They pulled up in an Audi, the exact Audi I've always wanted to drive. And I looked at sibling and I was just like, and she's all, wow, look at that. You manifested that. And you know, it's because when I thought, let's go big or go home on this trip, I wasn't thinking about what kind of car I wanted. I just thought, you know what? We literally have to travel up and down a mountain almost every day because we do go back and forth to see my aunt, or her aunt actually, our aunt, but she lives about probably a good 35 miles down the mountain. And it's not easy. I mean, we're talking the Rockies, okay, the Rocky Mountains. So it's not like a little hill you're going up. They legit have runaway ramps for trucks. That's the kind of mountain it is. And I tell you, this car was so smooth. I mean, that's the only reason we wanted to try it. We wanted to see, hey, let's see if this really can handle, you know. But I mean, come on, it's a German car. And they got mountains everywhere in Europe. So when you put things out there and you let it go and you just let it happen, you'll be surprised at what comes back for you. But you have to let it go. It's like a balloon. It's like putting your thoughts and your hopes and your manifestations into a balloon and letting it go and hoping that, you know, having faith that it's going to come back to you. And maybe the balloon's not the best example, but if you chokehold your manifestations, if you chokehold your wishes and your dreams and all those things, it is never going to happen. But if you set an intention, if you say a prayer, or you set a manifestation and you truly believe in it and you give it faith and you give it hope and you give it trust, your higher powers, your sources are going to bring it to you in one form or another, this or something better. You remember, always finish your manifestations with this or something better, because that's how we give them wiggle room to bring us what we need. And I know, you guys, that you want to sometimes give up because it feels like it takes forever. But remember, this is something that they have to work on. That's the other thing I wanted to point out, the difference between a wish and manifestation. Sure, I mean, a genie might be able to go, hey, there you go, it's all yours. But what are the realities of finding a magic lamp? You know, I mean, I'm not saying they don't exist, okay? I'm not saying genies don't exist. It's not my place to tell people how to think. But my point is, what are your odds of finding one? If you find one, great, but be careful, okay? Be careful. Because it's not always I will give you whatever you want. Sometimes it's a tit for tat. You know, so be careful what you wish for. Always be careful what you wish for. Just manifest in good grace. Manifest with, you know, nothing but positivity. And most importantly, like I said, know that you are worth it. You are worth it. And you have to believe in your worthiness in order to get all that. That's where I was going with the Aladdin thing. I'm so sorry. My brain this week, you guys, okay, I know this is TMI, but this is my brain this week. I am literally in my monthly cycle and I cannot put thoughts together. I mean, you think I'm bad when I'm not on my cycle? It gets worse because I was like, where was I going with the Aladdin thing? He didn't see his worthiness. He thought because he was a street rat, as they say in the movie, that he couldn't find someone to love him. But she was her own person. She was a very independent person. And I think they make a point in the beginning to show the way she looks at him, that she didn't care that he was just this guy that lived on the street stealing stuff. Well, I mean, she cared that he stole stuff, but the point is that she saw him because she saw him giving some of it to somebody else. She saw him doing things for other people while he was even trying to get away. And that's because she saw his worthiness, but he didn't. And so when he found the genie, he tried to be this big grand thing because he thought that's what she wanted. Just be yourself and know that you're worthy of anything, even if it feels like it's unattainable. In one way or another, if you trust and you believe, you will receive. If you trust and you believe and you have faith, you're going to help these prayers and these intentions and these manifestations come to fruition. And like I said, it might be this that you've asked for or something better. And the something better, like I said, doesn't necessarily mean that what you asked for was bad. It just means that what you're asking for now is something that, is meant to be for you. All right, so let's do our first card, Tubular Bells. Ooh, card number 13. I like that, but I also like what it says at the bottom, patience and trust. Patience and trust. That's right, patience and trust. I give you my thoughts on this, but I think I just did. I think I got ahead of myself, see? But I could see the card. Just kidding. But oh, that's funny. I opened up right to the other card that we pulled, so I'm just going to stick that in there real quick. Number 13, Tubular Bells. Since we have a little time, I'm going to do the whole thing. Sometimes known as squash blossoms, the flowers of the zucchini plant are yellow and tubular. They are prized for their culinary contribution to both sweet and savory dishes. I love squash. There's no use trying to hurry the delicate blossoms. They will flower when they are ready. However, this is a generous and prolific plant, and the flowers lend themselves well to spells for prosperity and fertility. So if that's your thing, there you go. So, let's see. Just as plants and flowers grow at their own pace, everything in your life will fall into place at just the right time. When this unicorn appears, relax and surrender your problems to a higher power, and in doing so, you will be grounded, tranquil, and wise. Thanks for the validation of everything I just said. Patience and trust in the greater good are the lessons of this card. You have been allocated all the time you need to do what you came to this earth to do. Every individual has a different path to follow, so do not compare yourself to others. Manifestation of your dreams can take some time, as there is a lag between the world of thought and the physical world. It can sometimes seem that despite constantly striving towards a much cherished dream, the opposite seems to be happening. Understand that these obstacles might be a test to see if what you truly want is best for you. People may accomplish things sooner than you or at a younger age, but do not be discouraged. Your time will arrive at the perfect moment. As Louise Hay said, the point of power is always in the present moment. I'm just going to say this. When you look at people that say, well, they're so much younger and they did so much more. In my own personal experience, I used to feel this way. God, there's so many people that did so many different things. And here I am, my age, and just kind of like wondering, what is my life purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Where is my life going? And I went, for anyone that's watched previous perspectives or has been following from the beginning, you know that a lot of things happened to me when I was a child that were very secretive. Nobody knew about it. And I mean, nobody knew about it, not even a clue, because I was that good at hiding it because I was groomed that young. And I don't want to go in that direction because I don't want empathy. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me because I want this to stay a positive oracle. But for people who have been through traumatic experiences, especially when they're young, don't worry about where people are at. Maybe you feel like you're behind. Maybe you feel like you're stuck behind that big rig that just won't move, and then you got two on the side of you, right? So you're trapped. Don't feel trapped. When you start to believe that you are where you were meant to be at the moment you're there, those things are going to start to disappear, and you're going to start heading down your path. Just keep your eyes on your own road. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing, because I'll tell you, I used to give myself a hard time for that until one day I realized that while everybody was off doing these things, I was busy surviving in my life. Not thriving, surviving in my life. And once I decided that I no longer just wanted to survive in it, that I wanted to thrive in it, things started moving out of the way. Obstacles started disappearing. And the only time they reappear is when I get negative, when I worry about things, when I think, oh, well, I should be this, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, or I wish I would have done that when I was that age. Wherever you're at right now, whatever your age you're at, okay, whatever age you're at, do yourself the biggest favor, and it is something that I am still learning. Get rid of the what ifs. What if this? What if that? What if I had done that? You can't turn back time. Instead of saying, what if I had done this, saying, what if I do this? It's never too late to go back to school, if that's your dream. It's never too late to take a different path, if that's your dream. Sure, we all think, oh, well, I'm a certain age, so nobody's going to want to hire me. You never know. You never know. If you're qualified and you're a kind person and you're fun to be around, someone will say, hey, you know what? Why not? We could use your expertise. We could use you. But you have to be focused on the positive. You have to have patience and trust that everything that you are trying to manifest will be working out for you. That's where worthiness comes in. And if you don't feel like you're worthy, the universe is just going to sit there, or your higher power, or your source, God, whoever it is, are just going to sit there and go, okay, I'll wait for you. Let me have about 10 cups of coffee while you try to figure this out. Because we have to figure it out in order for other people to. We can ask all day long for our sources and our higher powers to hear us. But if you're not listening, how can they help? If you're not going to have faith or trust or patience, how can they help? It's like somebody asking you, hey, would you mind hanging this picture? And then they stand right behind you and they keep telling you, well, why don't you try it this way? Or why don't you try it that way? Or why don't you try it this way? And then nothing gets done, right? You know exactly what to do, but someone keeps telling you how to do it, and you have to spend more time listening to them or trying to tell them to just stop and let me handle it. But you notice when they leave the room, you're done like that. That's your guides. That's your higher power, your source. But you're the person nagging and saying, well, do this, do it this way, do it that way, do it this way, do it that way. They know what they're doing. You just need to have patience and trust that they're going to get it done for you. Our timing is not their timing. And by that, I mean they work on a very different time schedule. Their time over there moves much slower. I know that makes no sense to a lot of people, but time in different places moves a lot slower than it does here. Okay, and I know that seems strange because everyone thinks, no, it moves faster. No, it's kind of slower, So just put it out there, let it go, and let it be. Just like a seed, right? You're not going to constantly watch and wait for that seed to sprout. One day you're going to notice that you're going to wake up in the morning and like 2 weeks later, it's just there. This little seedling is sprouted. But you're not going to sit there 24/7 watching it. That's why you have to let your manifestation go to where it needs to go. All right. Next card, snacks. Who does not love a snack? I love snacks. In fact, after I got this card last week, I went out and bought a bunch of strawberries. Funny enough, there's strawberries on there. Release judgments around food. All right, my emotional eaters and all my people with eating problems. This is for us. This is for us. This is for all the people in the world that want to diet. This is for all the people in the world that say, I can't have this, or if I have this, then I have to give up that. You can have both. That doesn't mean you have to have large portions of both. And I'm not trying to promote bad behavior. This is stuff that my therapist taught me. I went in to see her for trauma stuff, and it turns out she was also a therapist who dealt with eating disorders. And it turns out emotional eating is actually an eating disorder. That was a surprise to me. I thought I'd made it up. So, but she said no, it is an actual thing. It's a trauma response. That's what emotional eating is. It's a trauma response. So, anyways, I got to start wrapping this up soon. Snacks. This card appears when you or others around you have been judgmental about food choices. Be gentle on yourself. We live in challenging times where food has been demonized. Some food is considered good and other food is deemed bad, and the types of food that are good and bad swap around. And for example, avocados, butter, and eggs, once considered bad for you, are now thought of as superfoods. You can be forgiven for being confused. No one food is intrinsically good or bad. Everyone has the right to eat what they want when they want to. One of the great joys of this physical existence is delighting in the variety of delicious food and drink available on this abundant earth. This unicorn appears when you have been struggling with finding the right diet and nutrition, or labeling what you eat as right or wrong, creating feelings of guilt and resentment around them. There is a lot of information available about the perfect diet, but remember, one size does not fit all. What works for one person may be damaging to another. Check in with your inner guidance. What would you love to eat or cook? This is what your body wants. Let go of the ego and allow yourself to enjoy food without attaching any labels to it. I really, really love that card. I really love that card. And the reason I love that card so much is because it's not wrong. I demonized, there are two places that when I was emotionally eating, became very, very bad habits. And I mean very, very bad habits. And it shows. But I would demonize my weight. I would demonize, and you know what? I would think that because I had to be a perfect size to be, to love myself. I don't. I can love myself at any size. And that doesn't mean I don't want to get healthy. I have to, because I have a heart thingy. So, if I want it to keep doing well for me, I'm going to have to start respecting it and treating it better. But what I did notice was that the first place I went to that I haven't had in over a month now. And I just kept saying, well, I'm not going to have this place for like this time, this amount of time, this amount of time, this amount of time. And it worked. And, even though I'm not a practicing Catholic, I do Lent for my mom, which is basically Ash Wednesday to Easter. But I do it in memory and honor of my mom. And I thought, well, I'm going to give up these two places for this amount of time. But I'd already done it the month before. So it was kind of like I had one day where I thought, okay, I'm going to have it, because it was a one day right in between. And then I gave it up again. But then when those days were over, I was like, oh, I'm back in this place now. And I wasn't handling it healthily. And so older sibling talked me through one visit to one place. And she's like, you know what, just have it and see how you do. Just take your time eating it, enjoy every bite, really, just kind of don't just eat it, just, kind of enjoy it. And I did that, and I haven't had it since. And the other place, which is my true kryptonite, I thought, you know what, I really want this, and I'm craving it, and my body just will not let me not crave it. So I went and I had it, and I always make this excuse that when I'm PMSing, well, I am PMSing, so I know I can have it, and then I won't have it anymore until next month. I didn't even crave it. It didn't dawn on me until yesterday, and I'm almost through my entire cycle now. And I'm sorry if that's embarrassing people, but I'm not. It's life, right? I mean, if you know a girl, then you know that she has cycles. But I realized yesterday when I was on my way to breakfast with sibling and my dad, I hadn't had any. I looked at her and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even want it. It didn't even cross my mind to have it. Instead, I was eating like strawberries, bananas, my protein shakes. And I don't do protein shakes for dietary reasons. I do it because I'm not a big breakfast person, but I like all these things and I love them. So it's like coffee and a protein shake sometimes, or I'll just take the protein shake, I'll make it a little thicker, and I'll pour it over some granola. Problem solved. But my body was craving healthier things. And I think that's what we need to remember. If we demonize food, you're making it a bad thing, and then you're going to want it more. So, sometimes we have to face our fears, conquer them, and realize that, these are things we don't necessarily need in our lives. That one place I was talking about, I don't want to name them because, I don't want to badmouth anybody, because they're so amazing. They're so delicious, and their French fries, when they're well done, which means they're double cooked, are just, oh my God. But I I worked it back to when I started emotionally eating that. And that's when my mother was sick. 8 years ago this summer, my mother was dying of pancreatic cancer. And I realized that, and I realized that the hard way, that's when it started. So I'm going to pull one of these and then I will be done. Oh, that one just, did you see that? That was kind of cool. It just kind of popped right out. You're going to like this one. Peace. Peace. I have never seen this card before. When I get new decks, I try to just discover the cards without going. I go through each one to bless them and to kind of put my energy on each one. But I've never gotten this card before. And I'm very excited about this because I think this is what these things are talking about. We're all looking for that peace in our life, right? We're all looking for that place where we just don't have worries, where we don't have fears, where we're just mellow and just knowing and trusting that everything is going to work out. And God, I'm super excited about this card. I can't even tell you. Oh, and that's funny. I just wanted to see what the next card was. It was New Beginnings and Growth. New Beginnings and Growth. But those aren't our cards. I mean, they're good because when you have peace, you can have new beginnings and you can have growth. All right. So, wow. I'm stunned. I'm so stunned. I'm so excited. But let's just read about peace really quick. There's not much more I can say on that. A lot of the stuff I've already been talking about has kind of been the focus of peace and trust and patience. There are so many times throughout our human experience when we make snap decisions from a superficial level without even knowing our true desires. This card has come up in your reading because peace is what you desire right now, even if you don't realize it. Currently, there are too many issues and thoughts swirling around in your life and your mind, keeping you from being at peace. Now is the time to ask yourself what changes are within your power to make that, what? Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. If anybody has ever watched these oracles, when things are kind of hitting me upside the head, my reading goes out the window. And I think this card is the one truly that has resonated with me today. So I feel like I've finally reached this place, and I think my brain is just trying to catch up with that. So I'm going to try to read this one more time. I do apologize. There are many times throughout our human experience when we make snap decisions from a superficial level without even knowing our true desires. This card has come up in your reading because peace is what you desire right now, even if you don't realize it. Currently, there may be too many issues and thoughts swirling around in your life and your mind, keeping you from being at peace. Now is the time to ask yourself what changes are within your power to make that can create a deeper sense of peace for you, to create a deeper connection with yourself at this time, and to gain more clarity. It is recommended that you spend some time doing mind, body, and spirit activities such as yoga or meditation. Don't freak out. If you don't do yoga, it's okay. Mindfulness, okay? Mindfulness is what meditation is. It is also recommended that you spend some time in nature, no matter how small the gesture may seem to you. Every little bit counts and is a step closer to your desire. I know there's people that probably live in cities and they're thinking, where the hell am I going to find nature? Go outside. That's nature, all right? Literally. If you don't have a forest to go crawling into or walking into, or you don't have a bunch of trees or a park or anything, go outside. Go outside. The sunlight is nature. The sky is nature. Nature is the trees, the bushes, the plants, if you have a tree where you live, just go be around it, just be out in nature, be outside. All right. Be outside. So I'm still kind of stunned by this card. I am so in love with this card. One thing I have noticed, guys, and it's like I said, whenever something hits me between the eyes, and I know it's meant for me as well, it's funny. It's hard for me to read because I try to read it so fast because I just want to know. I just want to hear it and see it and be like, wow, so there you go. Have all these things, let's just go through these one more time. It's up to you. Look for your signs. Meditation brings answers and it brings peace. It brings peace. Remain positive. Don't freak out if you have trouble meditating either. It takes practice, but just start slowly. Just clear your mind. Even if you have to sit in a field. This is what I do, because there's always some kind of chatter happening. So there never seems to just be this blank space in my mind. Imagine yourself sitting in your favorite place, just you. Okay, sitting in your favorite place, just calm and peaceful. Just imagine it. Mine is a big open field with lots of wildflowers and, one really big tree right where I sit. And I just sit amongst the wildflowers and I hear the wind blowing through them. And that's my happy place. That's the place I go. Or the ocean. And I think sometimes I push towards the field because I don't live near a lot of places like that. I do live near an ocean, so it's a lot easier for me to get to there than the other. But just give yourself that chance and give yourself that grace, okay? So I hope everybody has a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. Please take care of yourselves. I hope that this was able to bring you some answers, some guidance, some peace, whatever it is that you are looking for. I will see everybody back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Facebook Live. It is public. Anybody can watch under Shelly Marie Lucas. Excuse me. Shelly Marie's one word. Monday we'll be back to gratitude number 7, I believe. So it'll be Hodgepodge Monday. And we're doing some gratitude. So again, I hope everybody has a great, great day. If you're unable to catch the lives, I do upload these to YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas. Or again, they are on Facebook. And they're public. So even if even if we're not friends, you can come into my Facebook profile and it will be there for you to watch. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching and have a peaceful day.